Mozart by Rachel Lawrence. Who is Mozart? His real name is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, but his christened name is Johannes Christomas Wolfgang Theophilus Mozart, which Theophilus means beloved of God. Wolfgang was born January 27, 1756, in Salzburg, Austria. His father. Leopold Mozart was a composer, violinist, court musician, and chamber composer to the court of the Prince Archbishop of Salzburg. He taught his children how to read music and how to play certain instruments. His mother. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's mother's name is Maria Anna Petrau. She married Leopold Mozart in 1747 and had 7 children. Only 2 survived, which was Wolfgang and Nannerl. Wolfgang's sister, Maria Anna, also called Nannerl, was the only one out of Wolfgang's brothers and sisters to survive. She was 5 years older than Wolfgang, was named after her mother, and was taught early in life her music abilities. She was born in 1751 and died in 1829. During that time, in 1756, which is the year that Mozart was born, the French and Indian War began between Britain and France. Also in the same year, Leopold Mozart's book, Violin School, a book teaching you how to play the violin, was published. How he got started. Leopold noticed at an early age that his children had astonishing musical talents. At the age of 8, Nannerl was a skilled pianist, and Wolfgang began learning how to play the clavier, which is like a keyboard. After becoming comfortable with the clavier, Wolfgang began playing on his own. In 1763, Wolfgang and his sister toured Europe as child prodigies with their family. This is a picture of Mozart playing the clavier. Fame. Wolfgang was so well known because he could play many instruments, like the piano, clavier, organ, flute, violin, harpsichord, trumpet, and the clarinet. Wolfgang's idols. Mozart studied and admired Bach, Handel, and Haydn. In Wolfgang's childhood, Haydn was so proud of young Wolfgang, Haydn told Wolfgang's father there was no other man like him. Tour of Europe. The Mozarts traveled a long distance showing off Nannerl and Wolfgang's talents. They traveled through Vienna, London, Rome, Munich, Paris, and more. The Mozarts were on the road for about 3,700 days, which is approximately 10 years. If you look at this picture, it starts at Salzburg, and it shows you many of the places that Nannerl and Wolfgang and their family have been through. During that time, in 1761, the first electric instrument, the electric harpsichord, is invented in Paris. In 1764, Wolfgang composed his first symphony at 8 years old. In 1768, Mozart's first opera, at the age of 12, in Vienna, called Bastien und Bastienne. The year 1770. Many of you know that the Boston Massacre occurred in the year 1770, but also that was the year Wolfgang received the Order of the Golden Spur from the Pope Clement. He received 10 years of employment in the household of Archbishop of Salzburg, just like his father did. While he was working for the Archbishop, he still composed many pieces. Finance. While the Mozart family was on tour, they received a lot of profit. But Wolfgang earned most of his money from his successful operas, but was often in financial debt from spending money on extravagant things. Mozart's family. In 1782, Mozart married Constance Weber. They had 6 children together: Raymond Leopold, Carl Thomas, Johann Thomas Leopold, Teresa, Constantine, Adelaide, Frederick Maria Anna Maria, and Franz Xavier Wolfgang. But out of the 6 children, only 2 survived: Carl Thomas and Franz Xavier Wolfgang. Franz, who was born 5 months before his father's death, also became a composer. Mozart's children. On the left is Franz Xavier Wolfgang, and on the right is Carl Thomas. Tragedy struck. On May 28, 1787, Wolfgang's father, Leopold Mozart, died. 1791. 4 years after Wolfgang's father died, he played The Magic Flute Opens in Vienna, and soon after that he became ill. Despite treatments by some of the best doctors, his sickness worsened. He was confined to a bed, arms were swollen, and had a fever. On December 5th, 1791, about 1 o'clock in the morning, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart died at the age of 35. Although we are not sure what really caused his death, many believe it's from kidney failure. His legend. After Wolfgang died, his legend kept going on for centuries. We still uphold Mozart as we listen to his music or play some of his compositions. But we mostly remember him by reciting his operas. Also, there is a Mozart Foundation to help keep the musical education going. It says, hit the high notes. Great music, pass it on. Mozart's grave. After he died, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was buried in a churchyard in an unmarked grave with a little ceremony. Because not a lot of people tried to find the gravesite, no one really knows where it's located. Today, the monument to Mozart is in that graveyard located at the site where we think the greatest composer rests. This is the monument to Mozart. It's located in Vienna, Austria. Facts I learned about his life. Mozart composed more than 600 works. In April 1787, Beethoven got 2 weeks' worth of lessons from Mozart. Mozart was a Roman Catholic, which some of his compositions were influenced by religious works. He didn't like playing the flute as much as the clarinet. Top 10 Most popular Mozart concertos. Flute Concerto in D major. Number 2. Piano Concerto in C minor. Number 3. Piano Concerto in E flat major. Number 4. Piano Concerto in G major. Number 5. Horn Concerto in E flat major. Number 6. Piano Concerto in D minor. Number 7. Concerto for flute and harp in C major. Number 8. Clarinet Concerto in A major. Number 9. Violin Concerto in D major. Number 10. Piano Concerto in B flat major. Most of these songs we have listened to, but most of us don't know that. Works cited page. biographyonline.net. EdenValleyEnterprises.org. Google Images. MozartForum.com. Thank you for listening.